Alright, so if you want to put this vortex in other levels, this tornado in other levels, load the level, say save level. That way it makes a user folder for that level. And you go into your user folder in the levels, you'll see it added that. Now just add an art folder and then add this folder to it. I had to edit the materials because I still had some dependencies in here for the other level. So this is all good now. You shouldn't have to fool with anything. Now if we load the, I'll have to reload the level though, actually. Let's reload it real quick because I added something to it. And once it loads, just go to your asset browser and import in the twister. Oh, what the hell am I looking for? It's 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm like losing my mind, I think. Right, if you wanted that thing here. So there's different darknesses and brightnesses. Some are a little lighter than the others. That's the darker one. The darker one I put closer to the ground, and I make several duplicates of it. And each time I make a duplicate, I'll move it a little and rotate it so it's a little different. And it just depends on how many your system can handle, how many you put. As I get closer to the top, I'll scale it out larger and then move it up higher. And make duplicates, rotate, copy, move up, rotate, copy. Let's see, get number 5, duplicate it now. If you want the top, if you don't want any skinny spots on your twister, then you just need to increase the amount of copies of these. And then what I did for the bottom is something like this. And then again, it's how many system, can your system handle? The more you got, the more it'll look a little better. I'm scaling it to make it slightly smaller or slightly larger. Oh yeah, somebody said about the damn fog, sun sky, fog. Now let's see. I did something like that for the clouds. Oh, that's using normals. Pick regular cloud. I try to match that purple to like the little purple that's in the twister, or blue, whatever color. You can change the colors of the twister too. Yeah, that's easy to do. You just uh, maybe you want it to look more blue or more black or gray, darker gray or something. And this is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is each one just make it just a little darker. See, maybe see how that will look. Number 7, that one's already dark. Number 8 is somewhat transparent and it's not dark. All right, then the next thing is go back to the asset browser, and you'll see vortex, ground, cone, or you won't see it. Now, right away, you have to increase the alpha effects for the material for it to see it. And as you can see, this is a cone with a hole in the bottom. And you see where I put it so that it's kind of like above the ground, but not too close to the ground. And this, we get alpha 0. See, it's got a frictionless ground model. But you'll want to see it for the purposes of making your level. So you just undo the alpha and turn off that if you want to see it better. But now I'm going to hide all these clouds so we can see what we're doing. So now what we got to do is make a little river. Now this is to be the one for the inside the funnel cloud. I don't think this is in. No, it's not. I got to tell this cone to be visible mesh final. Rebuild collisions. Now I can go into it and start my river. I'll make this wider than I usually do. I'll just do like 25. I'll leave the depth it's the same thing. See, once you have this collision mesh, this thing in here, it's quite easy to just go around in circles in here to make what it is you want to make, because it'll stick to the sides of this, the walls of this thing, as you're going around and around and around. People with more limited computer performance would probably want to make this with less segments as possible, so that the river is not as advanced, it's more um, less nodes and less segments. You can see this is kind of wrapped around like a Python, except for here. Damn, how did I do that? I'm getting all that up like that. Yeah, imagine if you didn't have the cone to follow along. Yeah, these things would be all over the place. At least it kind of helps get them a little where you want them at. Now this one, I'll just extend this one out. This will be the welcoming committee to the Twister tornado. One that pulls it up into it. So you want it so that it pulls it up inside the hole there. And people were asking about cars flooding out. And that's where I was saying you make the nodes just like only like 1.5. 0.5. Let's see this one, 0.5. And we got that one there. I'll make that one 0.2. Oh, maybe that one should be 1. As long as there's enough enough water to grab the wheels, um, it won't flood out the car. Well, man, I know there's no road or anything here. I'm going to take this land and, nah, I guess I'll leave it. I'll just leave it. I was going to modify it, but nah, I'll just leave it. Now, this thing here, let's see. The density, I'm going to move it to 500. Flow magnitude physics at 75. And depending on how you'd made this, depends on which way it goes. If you have to, you can put it in reverse if your water's flowing the wrong way. Then this is what you put to hide it. So you don't see it. I didn't mean to exit out of there. We don't need more water, more rivers, more rivers. See, that one will be feeding into the other one. Flow magnitude physics, and put that about there. And hey, why not just duplicate this? Rotate it around like that and that. All right, let's give it a test run. Save level. All right, who's going to be the lucky contestant? Let's see here. How about somebody that got some good crawling wheels? All right, where'd my controller go? Right next to me. Didn't see it. All right, let's fly over there. usually you'll want to wait to hide your rivers until you test it. You know it's working right. Then hide them, because it gets a little aggravating to try to. It gets a little aggravating. That is a no-go for launch. Yeah. I mean, sometimes tornadoes don't pick your car up necessarily. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just fling it around the map. Maybe just spit it around, throw it over there, throw it over here. Who knows? That time we didn't get taken up into it either. Well, like they say, if you don't succeed the first time at getting inside of a tornado, then just try again. Eventually, you'll get inside of one. So that's why I said you want to wait till you get all your waters working correctly before you start uh, turning off them. Because you want to see, well, what's going on? Well, why did it do this? Why did it do that? So this kind of gives you an idea what went wrong. And you want to maybe turn that cone's texture back on too. So let's see. Well, it's because it shot us through there. It didn't quite send us up into the twister. So I'll add another thing there. Maybe that one I'll allow it to get in there. Let's see. This is the main one. Now, sometimes you have problems with rivers not overriding, but taking priority over the other river, like where you think one should be affecting, it won't be working on it just because it's, I guess, in the intersection area of the other one. I don't know. It's you can get frustrated quickly with this thing, is what I'm trying to say. So you don't know all the time if maybe one river is canceling out the other river, or who knows. So now, at least out of those two, or that one should take us in there too. But it could be they're spinning the wrong way. You can always check it by just dropping your vehicle in it, seeing which way it spins it around. Anyway, none of that water worked. Not quite sure what happened. Which river is that? Should be the, I can't damn see it now because the alpha effect of the other thing's in the way. Okay, we're gonna just make these uh, the distance in between these. We'll just pick all these nodes and just put like 10. Save level. And let's give it another test run and see. Oh, that cone's still there. That's fine. We'll leave it all here for now. Let's just drop the car in here and see what happens. Surprisingly, nothing. I guess it's because of damn density. I'll put that back where it was at. That was what it was. Density wasn't enough to pull it. Alright, so we should have a working funnel now. Move our car. So I think you can get an idea what you got to do. You just have to keep manipulating the rivers and waters and get them just where you want them, so that they get the car in there. I'm not going to keep fiddling around with this. Like I said, then you just hide your rivers once you get them like you want them. And you can take that cone there and you can go into materials and put that back to 0. Next thing, sound. There's no sound. There's no tornado sounds. Alright, well, the sounds, you have to get that stuff from the mod folder for the vortex. Art, sounds. Just copy that here. Oh, yeah, and shapes, particles, copy that here. Now go back to the level, Jungle Rock Island, art. In the art folder, put the sound folder. Now make a folder called shapes. And put the particles folder in it. Like that. Because these are edited. Yeah, edited. So let's reload the level. Oh, I got a funnel cloud that's not where it's supposed to be. just delete that. Oops, wrong one. Oh, I'll just move it. There we go. Save level, reload level. Now the particles should be disabled, so we don't see any splashes. If the wind don't make splashing, that's gonna lock up. Gotta reload the game now. I'll be damn surprised if it don't lock up. Yeah, moving stuff around, moving folders with stuff in a level while the level's running probably ain't the best idea. But before I get any farther, let me explain one thing. I don't think I made it clear about the hydro locking. Let's just go to this road here. And since it's kind of flat, let me show you what I was talking about. You make a mesh river. Like, say this would be the river that's going into the tornado. So say that's the river. Don't make it such a tall, thick river that it would put the car underwater. You don't need a whole lot to get it moving. See my point? This is enough to act as the wind, but not enough to flood the motor. See what I mean? You can also lower the density, but I wouldn't lower it to 500 if you want it to have a lot of strength. If it's too thin, it won't act on the car. Let's leave that there. Put that up to there. We'll bring the car to here. And see, it moves the car. Depending on how much you want it to pretend to be wind. There's the amount of fluid, what is it? Flow magnitude physics. The less that is, the less it'll act on the car. But see, that car is not flooded. I can still drive it because there's not enough water to flood it, but it's enough to pretend wind. Pretend wind. And you see the particles aren't showing up now either. So then you just make the thing invisible. I mean, you got some artificial wind. But the volume, the thickness of the water, or as far as the density, if it's too low, it won't move the car. See, all them physics, all that flow magnitude physics, it's not moving the car because the density is not enough to grab it at that depth. About 550, 600, maybe 700. Yeah. See, there's a certain point. It's almost like density is either on or off. Now it ain't doing nothing. Do that. It was thinking about it. That's what it was doing. It was thinking it wanted to work. I'm not sure. One of a different kind of density when it's thicker, though. Still moves the car. I might need to change that. Put this back down. Damn. Yeah, the turbo boost. Be kind of cool. You're driving along and you hit the turbo boost and like them old arcade racers. Kind of crazy. All right, so what was we doing? Oh yeah, the last thing, the sounds. Add emitter, not a particle emitter. Sound emitter. Put it right here at ground zero. And I will zoom out and you'll see this red ball. That's how far the sound will go. The reference distance is like kind of like, I don't know really how to explain it. It's not a linear curve like the farther away you get. It's like, I guess, I don't know how to explain it. Think of it as a second volume, basically. The inner volume and the outer volume. You can have a low inner volume and a high outer volume, and you won't really hear much when you're at the edge of the cutoff point. But if you have a higher reference distance, it'll be louder at the cutoff point. Does that make sense? I think I explained that right. File name. This is where you'll go into your folder. Let's see. Jungle Rock Island. Art. Sounds. Weird wind. Strong wind. If we want to hear that farther away, we just increase the max distance. But see, we're in this bubble now. We don't hear it. Oh, I can barely hear it. This is louder. I can hear it here. I think that gives you an idea how it works. Yeah. And I I had a couple of other sound effects I had thrown in there just for, just a little something different to have it. So like this emitter I used, where are you at? And this was the other sound. There's a couple sounds got off the keyboard, music keyboard, using Reason, program Reason. You know what it sounds like is like the Dolby Cinema introduction for like Dolby speakers, whatever, or Dolby movies with Dolby surround or whatever. They always had, or no. It's THX surround sound thingy is what I used to hear that in, I believe. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I guess what I can do, I mean, this ain't really finished. You see, I just kind of farting around with it. I didn't really make nothing special with it. But what I can do, I can just save the level like it is. So all this stuff loads like it's supposed to. Let me make sure that the textures are all saved. I don't have any dirty textures. That means you edited a texture but didn't save it. It's a dirty texture. You can edit a lot of textures and then save them all, or just save them as you go. But see, like if I edit that one and I don't save it, then I go to this one and I edit it and I want to save it, then it'll give me the option to save all dirty materials, which were both of those textures. Or that's just save the current material. So I don't want to save either one. I didn't want to mess with them. But what I'll do is I'll go into the level, make sure that the file here, levels, Jungle Rock Island, art, vortex, okay. And make sure these aren't looking for these like this. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. Only it added that to it because I modified those textures in the game, in the game's editor, material editor. So it generously donated all those directory locations to me, but I don't need them. That'll limit you to just that one level with them textures. So next thing is how to unpack the level. Well, you see how it's in the user folder here in levels. Jungle Rock Island is in a folder. This is all I'm doing is zipping this to a zip file. So you'll put it in here in levels and you'll just say extract here. And then your Jungle Rock Island should have my twister in it. And it should be a twister you can move to other levels. because 19 megs. Well, it's only because it's only got the stuff I added to it. You know, everything else is pulling off the install location. So this is what I'll share the link to OneDrive. All you have to do is just right click on it and say extract here or WinZip. Unzip to here. Since it's a folder, it goes in levels. That's where you want it. So I'm going to stick this on OneDrive and put a link. And you will see the whole process, start to finish, all the way to where you get the link. FG junk, there it is. So this is the link that'll go with the video here.